Hello. So today I'm talking about waking up to truth for its own sake. So what does that mean? Well, it would mean that we're not placing our ideas onto truth of what we're going to get, basically. And wanting truth for its own sake means handing over all these projections, which is hard to do. Really, really, really hard to do. But as truth starts to emerge more fully, it reveals what it is. And the more that we sincerely want what's true, we want to be here unveiled within reality, to see reality unveiled without our projections overlaying reality. That's what truth really is. Truth is what is. At least that's how it's appearing here on planet Earth, right? As the divine manifestation, the ever present appearing just as it is. And so that is going to include you as you are, right? You as you are is the ever present. And that is something we also wake up to, that just as we are that. And we've heard that, right? We've heard that from so many teachings and teachers throughout time. And it often feels like, yeah, I know that you know that. Or you read it and you're like, yeah, it sounds good on paper. But what about how do I how do I accept and welcome myself as that when I feel so confused, when I feel a self-center, when I feel unworthy, right? So truth for its own sake, wanting truth for its own sake means being stripped of the ideas of being saved from the way that we are manifesting right now, what we contain. It means stripping the idea of being saved on the outside, that life is going to suddenly start working out and be in this great flow, wonderful, perfect relationship, the ideal work that is all that could can happen, right? But truth is not a gift giver. It's not like Santa Claus. We still have these immature ideas of God, and it's mostly without meaning to, we're projecting the masculine onto the God, to the idea of God. And we project the feminine, I do too, onto Mother Earth, because things are born out of her and we emerge out of her. So it's like this, the great mother, right? And so there's nothing wrong with these kind of ideas. And if it helps one make sense of the world and being here, great. But to not imagine in the end that our ideas are what truth is going to reveal when it's finally revealed, okay? And for many people who come to the point of deep realization, oftentimes they say, it's not what I pictured. It's not what I imagined. It is fulfilling, and because it is ourselves that is revealed, our true selves, but it isn't what is going to kind of like the magic wand, and that it's like Cinderella's, whatever the that what was she? A fairy. Anyway, saying, poof, you are not poor anymore in rags. You've got this beautiful dress on. And we've been fed so much, even within, traditional Christian theology. And we've been fed this idea that we're going to be saved, we're going to be saved. There's Disney, there's the Grimm stories. Well, they can be a bit grim, but we're going to be some fairy tale ideas of what's going to happen. We're going to be saved. We're not going to go in the oven with the witch in the Hansel and Gretel. The witch is going to go and we're going to live happily ever after. Doesn't happen that way. It really doesn't. I'm sorry to say, it's like poof, the rug gets taken out from underneath us and you land with your butt, your ass right on Mother Earth. exposed in terms of there's no further this. This is it. And don't keep looking for another way out of this life situation that you have, that you're in, another way out of being in a body. Being in a body is the form is that too, right? So form is made of the divine. Form is matter. Matter in Latin is mother. And they're speaking of the feminine principle and the masculine principle, you know, being united, form emptiness, the transcendent, the unformed, the unconditioned, meeting form, and that together this paradox makes up one great whole of what life is, what the divine is. And yes, it is magical in so many ways. It is fantastical in so many ways, but and wondrous. There's dimensions upon dimensions to reality. And we know that because there are, millions of universes and such mystery here. There's so much mystery, so that is the magic. That is the mystical, right? And some of us are kind of mystically wired and we get some mystical experiences. I was one of them. And it does help one to open up to the unknown. It can help. But if you don't get any mystical experiences, you don't. That's just the way you're wired. Doesn't mean you can't fully wake up in any way. Or if you're mystically oriented, you wake up more easily. No, it's just a different kind of makeup. That's a little side tangent. But reality has a component to it that is just what is. It's just this simplicity, kind of, the aspect of Zen, which is an aspect of God too, that what is Zen is pointing to, which is the isness, the isness. It is, and it's also magical and wondrous. So the isness is just simply what is, what is. How to talk about it is that it isn't anything other than what it is. It can make you just laugh and let's do some laughter. We can get so serious about this stuff. I know I was too at a certain point, like a serious, motivated seeker, which has you know, it has a role, meaning we want this more than anything. I know I did. Besides being a mother and a daughter and a sister, I wanted truth more than anything. And I had to wake up over time to the isness of what truth is and have my ideas stripped away of this overlay onto it, my imaginary overlay. Um, that it's sparkly, it's grand, it's more than what it really is appearing to be even. And the thing is that to get through the eye of the needle, you've heard that it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man. To get through the eye of the needle, you have to be kind of like innocent, like a camel, just like what is what we want. A rich man would be, in this case, someone with a lot of ideas and beliefs about what truth is and what God is. Okay. Including Father in the sky kind of thing. All these overlays, a heaven that's going to save us in the end. Ideas about the afterlife, about ideas about this life, about the previous lives. And it isn't that none of this has dimensional reality truth to it, because there are dimensions upon dimensions of reality, including guides and support and all those dimensions. But in order to be able to wake up to what our true nature is, just for imagination to fall away, the idea of being a separate self to fall away, which is imagination, we actually have to land in being here now and not want to overlay now with another idea of itself. So that means that we're going to be stopping. We're going to be stopped. And I pointed to this before, in my other, just even in my last video, stop, rest, and be here. Be here, stop, looking for another experience. Because addiction to experience is super real, and that includes with spiritual experiences. So addiction to anything that leads us out of the moment, out of being here now with what is, including how you're showing up right now, the way you're feeling right now, the way you're looking right now, the way what you're sensing right now, what you're seeing right now, what you're hearing right now. Just it is what it is. So if we're trying to be something more or other, we're wanting reality to be something more and greater, we're missing truth that's showing up right here, right now, just as it is. And that's why it's so easy to overlook. Like, well, where is it? And it's like, right here. Well, where is it? Just you as you are right now, and what is going on right now is it. How about that? How about that as a doorway? So coming back around to wanting truth for its own sake, not for your sake, not for an imaginary sake, an idea of it, for its own sake. Do you want truth? Got a little ring here that doesn't quite fit. My mother gave me some wearing it like this. Do you want truth for its own sake? Even if you're not sure what that is exactly, start contemplating it. Truth for its own sake. Well, what does that mean? What does that even mean? I don't know. Help me. Mystery, which is all in support of you waking up. But if you're avoiding truth as it is here right now, it can't really help you. It's like hitting you over the head every minute. How about now? How about now? How about now? Can you be here now? Just open to what is. Just even open to resistance. Welcome resistance. Just say, yes, resistance is here. Okay. A separate self sense is here. All right, if it is. Wholeness here right now. Truth for its own sake rather than any other sake. And what we tend to really want, and if we really, really want truth for its own sake, we tend to get it, just so you know. It tends to come because how can you avoid it? Because it is what's always here. So if you finally stop and say, I want truth for its own sake, and find your way into that just by saying it, that might not do it right, but contemplate it. Use it as an inquiry, as a koan. Truth for its own sake. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, I'm wanting something else. I'm looking for it. I keep looking for it in another moment, in another way, another flavor of this now moment. This can't be it. This cannot be it. But this is what truth is. Truth is what is right now. Right now. Fancy that. Truth is what is appearing as you, as life right now. That's a doorway to contemplate. Warm wishes as always. Be well, and may you find your way to your true nature with ease.